This video features high-end limited edition collectibles and is intended for adult collectors. Hey guys, welcome to Toy Chat. This is Max.
And Sang.
And this is another episode of Collector's Corner, our podcast where we discuss hot topics in the doll and toy industry centered on some of our favorite brands. And today's conversation will be Integrity Toys focused. We are going to be talking about the Seven Sins event and batch of dolls.
And if you hear any weird noise in the background, I am plucking some fluffy stuffies from MGA. If you have seen our previous short reels, TikTok on it, so that's what I'm doing if you hear it. If not, then yeah.
Yes. So, the Seven Sins event was, in a sense, kind of like a glorified Dolly Days.
So it's an online event.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. And obviously we did already have an in-person event this past club year with the curated event, which we already did have a whole video covering both the event and the dolls from curated. So if you haven't seen that, definitely go check it out. But Seven Sins was kind of just like a bonus, like add-on kind of thing for, I guess, for people who couldn't attend the in-person event. Neither one was, a fully formalized traditional Integrity Toys convention, but, news to come on that. We'll discuss that a little bit later. Kicking off the Seven Sins event, again, it ended up being very similar to... It's a little similar to the Stay Tuned event. I am almost kind of curious if they're going to do that every year now, especially now that, with like in-person conventions coming back, if they're going to have like the in-person convention and then they'll have a virtual event.
I think that would be a nice way
for everyone
to
else.
satisfy more collectors than the ones just living in the United States.
Although...
I don't know, they didn't make any concrete plans about doing another online event. At least during the presentation for this event. But I think that would be nice to have. I mean, I know we're very fortunate to be in the United States where we can hopefully maybe attend the in-person convention more regularly. Yeah. But yeah, like a lot of international fans and people, collectors who don't like traveling or can't travel, they really enjoy this concept of, just online conventions.
But yeah, this event, it was pretty much a series of emails that also had two associated presentations, pretty much. So like videos you could watch on YouTube unveiling the dolls and, discussing the dolls with the designers. The videos were set in Las Vegas, which was Sin City. So of course it was appropriate for the Seven Sins theme. And again, off the bat, it was pretty clear that the theme of this event would be, of course, with the biblical 7 deadly sins. So the assumption from a lot of folks was that we would be receiving, at least 7 different dolls, like one per, deadly sin. In the presentations, the videos, as always, we essentially had Carol hosting, and they did these mini little skits and stuff to kind of discuss the different themes. We're kind of just going to overview that and cover highlights from the video presentations. It did give us an opportunity to hear some of the inspirations behind the dolls,
and it was nice. I think a good change from last year's convention or online presentation was they actually had the dolls in person, so you can actually see the dolls, and they were rotating footage of the dolls, which I loved.
They did a better job, I think, of showing the dolls than previous videos we've seen. Yeah. So that was nice. They played Pictionary for what felt like a half hour. It was
very long.
Yeah, they played a long game of Pictionary, which it was a fun little moment, but unrelated more or less to the dolls.
I appreciate that it was not completely just like a webinar presentation. They did some fun stuff. If it landed or it missed, it's totally up to you if you actually enjoy that kind of stuff. I kind of zoned out during it. But, it is fun to see the designers having a little bit of fun and cussing.
Yeah. Yeah. So, one of the most notable things that came up in these videos was a major announcement.
So at the very end, Carol and Percy had a little conversation about next year's event. So it looks like we are having another in-person event next year. It'll be 5 years since the last one. And it will be, they didn't announce the location or date, but they did announce the theme. And the theme will be...
Stilettos Out.
Yes.
Was that it? Yeah. Which
Integrity Toys thriller.
Yes, which seems to be a reference, to the phrase "knives out," of course. So I don't totally know how that particular theme will end up translating to dolls. Mm-hmm. I think in terms of an event, I'm very excited to hear that, in-person conventions, and it sounds like I guess this will probably be a full convention, like formalized traditional in-person IT conventions are back from the sound of it, which I'm assuming means there will probably be more dolls, larger venue, more people being able to attend, as opposed to hopefully, where that's what we're hoping anyway. But
I mean, the club has grown so large. I'm curious, I know 700 last time in person was a nice amount, and they handled that well, and I hope at least it'll be around that much.
Yeah, especially considering the club has grown exponentially since then. I had mentioned, Sang and I had been talking earlier about how it would be really interesting if this particular event, given the theme, if it were interactive in some sense, kind of getting attendees involved in some sort of mystery, whodunit, kind of activity. And then you can kind of use that as an unveiling process for the dolls. I think that could be really cute. I don't totally know what to expect in terms of design aesthetics for this particular theme. Obviously, as whodunit, thriller kind of stuff is, or I don't know if it'll be more specifically inspired by more recent modern, films like the Knives Out films or whatever. But so, we're interested what you guys think about that. From here, we're going to dive straight into the actual doll reveals, which, similar to other recent virtual events, because this event was open to the entirety of the W Club, which is thousands of people at this point.
Yes.
Every single doll unveiled in this collection was a lottery doll.
Yes.
And it's a sore subject for me because I won absolutely nothing from this collection.
Very
so
shocking,
every single doll, I only entered, I only entered for 3 total. And 2 of them I knew were going to be a bloodbath. One of them was, a Poppy, and one of them was Erin, the most popular doll in the collection. And it seems like a lot of people missed out on these dolls. I saw a lot of people posting about how they did not win the lotteries. Some of these edition sizes were quite small, given that this particular event was accessible to the entire W Club.
So right before this event, I don't know if we actually ever talked about it, but there was a made-to-order doll that was kind of like a precursor to the event that they announced months ago when they announced the event, and it was Temptation to Labelle True. And she was kind of like the introduction to the event. They have done this in the past with some of the past in-person event, there was the Cruella, Tatiana, and then the We Love Poppy Parker. So they've done this before, so this was our only opportunity to order a doll from the convention. Yes. She was really cute. I love her aesthetic, and it was one of the final dolls that Mark Tinkley made for the club. Yeah. So that was really sad, but
before his departure.
Tula Belle looks really cute, and we both ordered her, right?
Yes. Oh, I love that Tula Belle.
I'm a huge Tula Belle 2.0 fan.
Yeah, she looks great. She's really cute. She's very pastel. And rather than representing one single sin of the 7 deadly sins, it seemed like she was more just a general introduction to the theme, kind of. And that Tula Belle was made to order, so there was no mad rush to obtain her. Everyone who wanted her within the W Club had an opportunity to pre-order her. So that was nice. But yeah, fast forward to when the Seven Sins event actually occurred. Different emails were sent out. It was kind of cute how they did it. They're like, email 1, email 2, like kind of like this, like counting down the different sins.
Mm-hmm. Before those emails came out, that you could watch the presentation, which I watched right away. It was pre-recorded, but it was like a YouTube live premiere kind of situation. Carol, again, was the host, and she brought on Chris as the first guest, and he introduced his doll for the convention, which was...
And so the first doll reveal was Deepest Desire Dela Ru of East 59th, and she represents the sin Lust. I think she's very pretty. There have been a lot of Delas. I think it's very clear that she's understandably so. She's a very popular East 59th character, which is understandable. I mean, the Victoire sculpt is lovely and so versatile. And I really love, Dela as a character.
And, honestly, my critique of Dela in the past, especially last convention, the Stay Tuned convention, was they all had very similar screenings.
Yes. And,
this Dela has no silver eyeshadow, which I really appreciate, because I think that was the problem I had with all the Delas, is they all have red lips and silver or gray eyeshadow.
I wish they would get a little more adventurous with Dela's hairstyles. I feel like she's had similar bob length hair in almost every release.
There's definitely a lot more hairstyles in that era that they haven't really
I guess
done.
That was a big thing in that. There's a lot of bobs and little curls, and it's fitting of the era. But I'd like to see different hairstyles on her. I think she's lovely. I don't know if I'm getting a really aggressive lust theme from her. I mean, she is wearing lingerie, esque clothing. I think for the lust theme, I was expecting something very vampy and va-va-voom, kind of in the realm of like boudoir Agnes or something like that, which I guess she's parallel to that for sure.
I think the problem, when we think of lust, we think of red, very vibrant colors.
Yes.
I think because the convention, the color theme was red, so the boxes are red. So I don't think I think all the designers avoided using red in their designs. Which
more or less makes sense. But yeah, her color palette is kind of like an icy, minty, blue green kind of. Yeah. So, which I guess again, maybe the color story isn't making me immediately think lust. Yeah. But
I think my critique of this convention is like, if you showed someone all 7 of these dolls out and have them pick out which one belongs to each sin, I think there would be some
mix-ups.
Yeah, mix-ups.
Yeah.
I think she looks fine. I mean, when you think of lust, you think of lingerie.
Yes.
Yeah. So that works, but yeah, maybe the color's a little off, but
she's very beautiful. I think is it a shawl or cape or what is?
I think it's a cape.
Yeah, so I think the cape she's wearing is very pretty. That to me is one of like the standout pieces. I think the rest of everything else of her fashions is a little more, similar to things we've seen before. But I think the cape is feels a more unique.
So Max did not enter for her, and I did. I think she's pretty. It doesn't take me much to buy East 59th, but
East 59th needs all the love it can get.
Yeah. I think the biggest critique of East 59th right now is the fact that it kind of lost its value in terms of like what it comes with. But lately it's just been a lot of just like singular dresses instead of like in the past, the first few waves of East 59th were like full fashion, where you get like a lot of pieces that you can mix and match. Lately it's just been one gown and maybe some jewelry. So I think it's important for maybe Chris to kind of get back to that. That's kind of a tangent, but I think she's also on the simpler side.
Yeah.
$165, I think, for her. Yeah, she's $165.
That's as cheap as IT gets nowadays.
Yeah. Let's move on. So next up, Chris, that was the only doll he designed for the event. But I'm sure like a lot of designers collaborate. Chris is kind of a pattern maker for the team. So I'm sure he has dabbled into some other designs, but this is his creation here. And an edition size for her was 600. She was an edition size of 600, which is really small.
Which is very small edition size by today's standards.
Yes. Next up, they brought on Vaughn, and Vaughn is the designer for Monarchs and Meteor. So one of the things I didn't like about this convention and how they designed the themes
or this event
for this event, they pull sins out of a hat. So the designers didn't pick what sins they got. It was kind of like
he was like assigned.
No, it's luck a draw. Because I know when David came on, he said, I didn't choose these. We picked out of a hat. So Vaughn picked
Sloth.
So he picked Sloth, and he designed a Monarch.
So his doll was Leisure Lounge Paulo Marino. And yes, he's part of the Monarchs collection. We are not generally enormous fans of the Monarchs here on this channel, but I did enjoy this Monarch.
I liked him too, and I almost entered for him, but I was trying to control myself. Yeah, maybe I should have entered.
I think the design of his outfit is really lovely and very unique for a male doll. We never see anything with like a pattern like this on a male doll, and there's it looks like there's
it's like kimono fabric.
It is, it's kind of like kimono kind of pattern with a lot of it almost looks like flowers, lotuses, maybe like cranes, cranes, and like a water, like a pond design. So the design is beautiful. A really nice touch, I think, is how it has sort of a little peekaboo. Well, more than a peekaboo. It's like it basically it's almost like an open back. Yeah. So which I think is really fun. So I am a fan of this Monarch. I am not a fan of Monarch price points. Yes. He, like all / most Monarchs, and we're going to be saying the W Club prices, which I mean, it's the only price you're going to have because all of these sold out in the lotteries. But yeah, so his W Club price was $175, which is pretty much the standard for Monarchs.
Yeah, which is kind of sad because he doesn't come with much.
No, he has like a little cocktail and
he comes with like a fur blanket. Looks like a fur blanket.
Yeah.
Which is, it's a sheet of fabric, which is not that expensive.
Yeah. I mean, his fashions look very luxe, but Monarchs are so expensive. Yeah. It's out.
I mean, throw in some pillows for us, Yeah. Make it extra loungy,
Yes.
Give us like a hammock or something.
Yeah. He was fun. I entered for him and I lost.
Yes. And it was kind of shocking because Monarchs don't usually sell out.
No. Yeah. I mean, I spoke to at least one other person who entered for him and lost. So like I said, these lotteries were a bloodbath. It was these edition sizes were too small for the amount of people who had access to the lotteries.
Yeah. And he's edition size of 500. So it is the smallest one. Yeah. So I think they know that he wasn't going to be very popular, but he still sold out. Yeah. So that was the only doll Vaughn designed for the event. So we're moving on to David. So David appeared and he introduced 2 Poppies. He pulled Envy and Greed. So for Envy, he went for the phrase,
green with envy.
Green with envy or green-eyed monster.
Yeah.
So the doll that he made was a Poppy Parker doll, and her name is Turning Green Poppy Parker, and she was an edition size of 1,000. So 1,000 is the highest edition size for this event, and she was $165. Wow, she was actually kind of cheap.
I have seen multiple people say that this would have been a prime opportunity to use a character that's not Poppy. Mm-hmm. Because, of course, when you're talking about Envy, especially obviously Poppy has a, friendly rival character with Ginger. Yeah. So this would have been a really fun opportunity to use Ginger or something like that, or, a character who's jealous of Poppy or something like that, or whatever. I think they could have put a fun twist on the theme. But they did end up using Poppy. I mean, Poppy always sells, clearly. I think this Poppy has some cute aspects. My favorite thing about her is her coat. I mean,
that's definitely the statement piece here. It's the coat, yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I think her, with like the leafy, I don't know if it's giving me envy again, but I mean, I don't even know how you'd represent that per se on a fashion, but
she's giving Wizard of Oz.
She is giving, there's something like fantastical about her because she has like the bright, vivid green. She has like she's wearing green glasses.
She's drowning in green.
Yes, she's green. And so this Poppies hairstyle is kind of like a tall updo. I don't know for sure if I'm using the correct terminology for this hairstyle. I think it's a nice high hairstyle in real life. In doll scale, I have concerns about this type of hairstyle because I just know it's going to be a clump of gel.
Yeah.
And so...
And you know what, this hairstyle is meant to stay up as a updo, so I don't think she's going to be fully rooted.
Yeah.
I think that Agnes that had it, the Sting to the Heart, I think she came... Did she come with a little warning about the hairstyle where it's meant to be stayed up as an updo?
Yeah, and
was that one, or was that the...
No, Sting to the Heart had the... She did have
No, I just don't remember if they had the warning. I know Affluent Demeanor, is that her name?
Yeah.
That one had a warning, like, you can't take down the hair because it's meant to be an updo.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it might end up just having to be an updo.
Yeah, dolls like this, it sounds like it's either very challenging or fully impossible to restyle the hair if you want to. Mm-hmm. And again, it just, the fact that it's just a gelled clump in doll scale, it's
you know, just... her coat is the standout piece, so I don't mind, like, a really high updo or, like, maybe short hair.
Yeah.
I like her because we don't really see green makeup on dolls. I think, generally speaking, green is very playline or gaudy sometimes. I'm not saying necessarily there aren't dolls like that. It's very rare from what we've seen.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that, and her coat is a standout. I do not like the silhouette of her dress. I think it kind of makes her look kind of bulky. It looks like it needs like a belt or something in the middle. Like the transition from like kind of the threading on the top part just ends abruptly at the waist. I feel like it could need a belt or make it curve down into like a V. Yeah. But the coat is the standout piece.
Yeah. She has a lovely screening as well. This doll has a really nice
Love the green eyes and the green eyeshadow, which is rare.
Yes.
Moving up, we got All For Me, Poppy Parker, and she represents greed. Surprise, surprise, we haven't seen this screening in a very long time.
And Sang appreciated the break.
I do. I don't really like kind of these eyes. I think they kind of give you demonic eyes. Like just like the really heavy outline of the pupil line is just too much.
Yeah. There is something a little bit jarring about having, the pupils and the heavy upper lash line, and then it looks like next to nothing on the lower lash line. Yeah. So it creates a very specific look. It's kind of like a piercing, kind of jarring look.
I have to say this screening combination and hairstyle is very similar to Peach Parfait. So I know that ended up being a huge grail. So I think people who were interested in that doll, this is a great alternative if you want her, of course.
I don't love this doll's screening. The selling point to me, and obviously there have been so many blonde, pink, Barbie Poppies. But I think the selling point of this one to me, I love her accessories and the stuff she comes with. Her clothes are really cute, but her accessories are just really unique and really fun. She's, because she's greed, she's like all about, it's almost like Confessions of a Shopaholic, kind of like obsessed.
Oh my gosh, she should have come with little credit cards.
That would have been really cute. So cute. Yeah. But yeah, I love her her little bag more and more. Oh my gosh, so twice.
I know. David's a fan. man. So.
He is, yes. And yeah, her little shopping bags say, more and more, never enough. And there's dollar signs on one of her bags. David mentioned in the video that her purse is kind of like Chanel-esque. I did end up entering and losing for this Poppy because I really liked her clothing and accessories, mainly. She also has a really adorable fur-lined coat.
She reminds me of Rainbow High.
She does, yes. She's very, pretty in pink, Chanel. Yes, Bella Parker. Yeah. She's pretty cute.
Yeah, she seems to be the more popular Poppy.
Yes, I would not say as a doll that she offers anything spectacularly unique to Poppy fans.
And honestly, if you only seen the doll and not, the paper bag accessories, I would not assume greed.
No.
Yeah, she just looks like a Poppy Parker doll. So that was the end of the first presentation. So when they came back after playing some games with each other, Jesse showed up to show off his collection of dolls that he was designing for. And the first one was a new face doll. She represents Wrath, and her name is Tantrum Erin Saltzman.
I remember us speculating that we thought for sure that Wrath would be Agnes. But surprisingly, Agnes was completely absent from this event. Agnes did not make an appearance. This Erin is fabulous. Yes. And she was very clearly the most popular doll of the event. I think people would all agree on that. She has pink hair, and you know how special and rare it is, when particularly when new face dolls get pink hair, it's always just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, there's a subset of collectors who don't like really fantasy heavy dolls.
Yeah.
Well, clearly that didn't matter because this Erin was very popular. And in terms of theme, I think she fits the theme very well because it's not just kind of like Wrath in terms of anger. This is very punk.
It's super punk.
Yes. And it fits the punk message.
Yes. Yeah, and she's wearing plaid, chains. She has colorful hair. She was one of the only dolls in this collection that really leaned into the vivid red, the general theme.
So I'm concerned about her staining, so just be careful, guys.
Yeah.
So wash her clothes before she wears it.
Yeah.
She's also very detailed because those chains had to be hand sewn on.
Yeah.
So she not only she's the most creative, I think she also came with the most stuff.
Yeah.
The dress on her is very detailed with all the chains, and then she comes with this really cool poncho coat thing that doesn't really have sleeves. There's just little holes for the arms. It's cool. And and all those buttons and design little elements on the coat is great.
Yeah, I do. She there's also something about her aesthetic, all the red and black, and punk aesthetic. It's kind of demon leaning. So in a sense, she feels I think that the signature doll for this event and this theme. Her bag is so cute. The little paper lunch sack. It's really cute.
Yeah, Nim Alejandra had it for her other release.
Yeah,
but this one has little drawings.
Scribbles on it. Yeah, it's super cute. Big fan of her. I am heartbroken I missed out on her. I mean, a lot of people missed out on her. Literally, I saw my Instagram stories were flooded. It sucks. It was this particular lottery was really brutal. It seems like a lot of people missed out on her. So, yeah. This particular one, it would have been really nice if she was a larger edition size.
A lot of people are begging IT and the W Club to make a color variant of her for the club. I mean, all for that. I think she's very well designed. I think she would sell a lot if there's a color variant.
They can do an angelic looking.
Oh, that would be so cute.
One, and then it would be fun to have both. Yeah.
Yes. She was an edition size of 1,000, and her price point was $175.
Yes.
Clearly not enough. Okay, moving on. This one's a little confusing because I think of the Deadly Seven Sins as pride, but it also could also be vanity, called vanity.
Yeah.
So in some stories it's pride, and then others this one is vanity. So this is Glorious Vanity, Isabella Alves, looking very different from her other releases.
Isabella is in the dark A tone skin tone, which is really cool. We have not previously seen her in that skin tone. And she, it's really nice to see such a unique version of the character. We also talked about it kind of looks like the screening used kind of like fixes her ceiling eyes.
Yeah, so her first release had ceiling eyes, but they did fix it for her other release, the Boudoir release. So this is not the first time with this screening, but yeah. It looks nice.
Yeah, her eyes look nice.
She also reminds me of Rainbow High. She reminds me of
Aisha.
Yeah, Aisha.
Aisha Sterling. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she did her. Yeah, very similar color story. All like the shiny metallic silver.
So we found out that this is an outfit. It's an outfit by Vera Wang, and it's almost identical to the other one. So I personally would have given her a different top. I think the top is very basic. I really love Aisha's outfit. I wish instead of just like a solid micro sequence thing, they had those panels of sequence.
Yeah.
And I get it. Here, I think it's supposed to imitate like mirrors.
It looks like she's wearing a disco ball.
Yes. I personally would have used the other fabric that we have, the one that kind of looks like more little squares.
Like iridescent panels,
like
squares,
panels,
yeah.
If they want to really sell on like the mirror concept.
I agree. This one, it looks very single tone.
Yeah.
So it's not iridescent. It's reflective.
I don't think you need to be iridescent. I think sequence doesn't really sell the concept of mirrors. I think those little reflective panels that we use, those would give more of a like a mirror concept.
I would imagine that would be a little tougher to construct at doll scale.
You think so? I don't think so, because it's actually much more flexible than sequins. Because sequins are a little...
Maybe. Yeah. I just know we so commonly see sequins on dolls. I don't know if... Yeah, but, I think this doll is lovely. I'm not really seeing the theme on her at all. And I think she's all silver everything. Like I said, it's like her aesthetic totally reminds me of a disco ball.
I think her hair is the selling point here. It's so intricate.
Yeah.
It's like a really nice hairstyle. But in some ways it kind of like offset how simple her outfit is.
Yeah.
But I would prefer a little more detailed outfit, or something with like a necklace or something.
Yeah, I do like her mirror accessory.
Yeah.
Her mirror accessory. I guess that's the main thing, signaling the theme. But yeah, I think overall she's, for me personally, she's a little too simple and one tone.
Because she's FR, she's priced kind of high. She's $180. And she's an edition size of 1,000. She seems to be the least popular of the dolls, at least at her edition size. A lot of people who entered for her won her. And I saw some takeovers for her as well. She does come with accessories, but, sometimes the theme should be more than just the accessories. It should be... Yeah.
So the final doll representing the sin of gluttony was Delightful Indulgence Danya Czar of fashion royalty. Very different from the past few times we have seen Danya, Mothership and her legendary release. This one, she has blonde hair and she's wearing, on one hand, this is an outfit I could see, someone wearing to like a bougie holiday Thanksgiving party. But aside from that, I don't see how
it relates
to gluttony at all. Someone
said it's like high-end maternity clothes. it hides your bump.
I guess. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I think she's pretty. I think
she's gorgeous. She's like she's like my favorite doll from the event.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I think she's pretty. I just, for the theme of gluttony, there was a lot of potential here, I think, with the theme, and it would have been really fun to see maybe something food related, like on the pattern of her outfit, or maybe a food accessory or something.
But I think in this concept, gluttony is kind of like layers.
Or just a general indulgence or whatever. Her aesthetic is, I mean, I guess sometimes FR and East 59th have sort of similar, they look like they're dressed for the same event. She's giving kind of East 59th a little bit for me.
I do think like the dress is kind of this metallic, almost brocade looking fabric. I think it's really nice, and it's the layers, and she's pretty. I like her. But yeah, I think she would probably be the one, like if you showed someone and have them guess which sin she was, I think a lot of people would not be able to identify which sin. Okay. So maybe that helps that the designers were there to explain to you their thought process. But I think she's a beautiful doll. She doesn't even have to be part of this convention, and I think she would sell really well. All right, so in addition to the dolls, there were a few shoes packs that were available to enter for. The very first one was Garden of Access fashion pack, and this one was made for the fashion royalty dolls, and they were edition size of 500, and it was priced at $75. So this was kind of like a swimsuit / skirt combo.
To me, it's all about this bag. The bag is fabulous.
So the bag, it's a bag by Scarelli. That brand.
Schiaparelli,
yes. Yes, so it's based on that. Really, really cool. And also those heels.
Are those the snake heels?
Those are the
snake. That was, so honest, I didn't end up entering for this, but those shoes are banging. It's a really cool, like a coiled snake heel. I would say that's one of the most elaborate IT shoes we've seen in recent history.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool. And it's like a really unique sculpt. Was tempted to enter for that, but I did not.
$75 seems not like a lot, but just on top of everything
else. Some of that was actually the main reason I ended up just like skipping on all of the packs, is because some of these were like really expensive for just like fashion packs. So then we had the Devilish Fashion pack, which was for the Poppy Parker collection. It was an edition size of 500.
$75.
Yes, $75. I think this one was fun.
I hate it. I think the cape drowns her out. I think it's just around the neck. It just kind of creates kind of bulk around the neck.
Again, there's aspects of this theme that are giving kind of like fantasy. Like some of these pieces would have sort of fit in with Fashion Fairy Tale, because this is almost giving like Red Queen, Alice in Wonderland vibes. The tulle thing, I think it's striking. I don't think it's gonna be for everyone. I do kind of agree. It drowns everything else, so it's kind of hard to appreciate much of anything else. It's also just everything is bright red.
The staining.
Yeah. Oh, and her shoes are so Wizard of Oz. She has a hardcore like ruby red, heels. Yeah.
And also I don't know if I like the silhouette of the dress.
I was just gonna say the dress seems a little shapeless.
Yeah. Her necklace is new. It's a new design for the necklace.
Oh yeah, the necklace is pretty.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I really miss Mark. It's like some of these it's like the outfits seems like they're not well constructed in a lot of these dolls.
Yeah.
A lot of the Poppies, unfortunately. Yeah. That's just our personal taste. Again, your opinion may be different.
So that's that on that. So then we have the Sinful 7 shoe pack for fashion royalty. Teeny tiny little baby edition size of 300. The W Club price for these was $90, which that is a few pennies for some doll shoes and legs. These are also kind of rainbow high because they're coming colors of, the rainbow sort of. I have to be really honest. There's some cute construction of some of these. I don't know if any of these shoes stand out to me that much. I like some of the decorations on the green ones with like the little, like gem jewelry looking details. The rest of them are cute. They're not anything that I would pay that amount of money for in like a fashion pack. The purple ones are kind of cute. Oh, it's the Amina Muaddi pyramid heel that we see constantly in the doll world nowadays. The purple ones are cute.
I like the red ones. The strappy.
The red ones are strappy.
Those are very like Chanel kind of.
The orange ones are also pretty strappy heels. I don't know. These ones weren't speaking to me in a way that I'd want to spend that amount of money. Yeah. So there was another shoe pack called The Gathering, and this was for Poppy Parker. Of course, 7 pairs of shoes. I don't really have a whole lot to say about these either. I think my favorite are probably the pink ones. They're like the platform blocky wedge heels. And they have, I like the little pearl, detail.
Sometimes you need more shoes for these dolls, but at this price, sometimes it's a little pricey. So,
again, I personally would have loved to have seen something lean into the theme a little bit more. Like give us something with like a unique, like devil horns or some sort of symbol or icon or something like. So that was everything unveiled across the Seven Sins event. I have to say overall, there were there were some really great dolls and designs to choose from for sure. Clearly I
think they've also been listening to fans where they say that the themes need to be a bit more specific.
Yeah.
Not like obsession or like something silly or something like so abstract that it's hard for collectors to be excited about. I think they kind of nailed that here. We're like, okay, so we know that 7 sins, so people kind of speculate which characters and what kind of designs they're hoping to see.
I think in terms of committing to the theme, this collection was a little bit of a mixed bag. I think there were some that did a really nice job of utilizing the theme. And there were some where I just was not seeing the theme.
I think instead of like I think they should have let designers pick which of the 7 deadly sins they wanted to do.
Yeah.
I think Chris would have done Greed very well. I think he's very good at giving collectors value. Mm-hmm. I think he could have done a lot of like cool different little outfit pieces and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, my 2 cents on this whole thing overall is I do think it's nice if IT wants to have a virtual event of some kind every year in addition to in-person conventions. Some more folks can participate. I just personally would really like them to keep in mind how large the W Club has grown over the years, and that when you show thousands and thousands of people dolls that you're only making 500 to 1,000 of, a lot of people are going to end up disappointed. Of course, we have, conversations related to this all the time, and we're aware IT is very clear that it is, it provides limited edition collectibles. Of course, certain things they produce are made to order, all that. But yeah, it's just kind of unfortunate that it seemed like the odds of these lotteries were very low. I think if you want to make things more limited to an event that people are attending in person, and then too, exactly how many to make because how many people are attending the in-person event. But if you're going to show the whole club this series of dolls for an event, like an event-specific doll collection that people are going to tune into, and so you're probably going to have a higher turnout as opposed to just like W Club exclusive emails or whatever, you know, that people are going to be like, oh, this is an event that I should pay attention to. Larger edition sizes, or at least something to accommodate like a decent portion of the audience, if not, of course, everyone, would be nice.
And, you know, I think while Tula Belle was a really cool doll, and I think I love her, yeah, the made-to-order doll should be a very popular character, or one that you're positive that will sell really well. I'm very curious what Tula Belle's edition size is, but I think in terms of this convention, I think maybe Erin should have been kind of the made-to-order doll.
And people would have been so happy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, IT would have made so much money off of that.
Yeah.
Now, eBayers and the secondhand market gets to make a whole bunch of money instead.
Yep.
Something else, too, just to kind of provide a little bit of context. I am at a point in my life where I need to just start getting more selective with collectibles in general that I buy, particularly extremely expensive collectibles. And when we're at a point where Integrity Toys dolls cost a bare minimum of $165, if I'm not like really loving the doll, I'm probably going to pass on it. So that's just, for one, providing a little more context to why there's certain things that even though I liked it, I passed on the lottery or whatever. In relation to that, I don't know why Integrity Toys dumped the W Club doll reveal of Naja like 5 seconds before this event occurred. It's like, guys, could you not at least have like waited so it's like, let people budget for this stuff. To be honest, I ended up not ordering Naja because I was trying to conserve funds for Seven Sins. And then I didn't end up winning the Seven Sins lottery, so I have nothing.
You know what? In IT's defense, I think they did that because they knew how competitive this lottery will be. They you know, I think Naja was kind of a consolation prize. Like, if you didn't win any, you can...
If she was a consolation prize, they should have unveiled her after the Seven Sins event. I don't know why. And they had her deadline.
The same
before, day. Yeah, like, so people couldn't even know whether or not they won Seven Sins before the deadline for Naja.
Well, the deadline for Naja came out the same day as the lottery results.
Yeah, I want to express the general sentiment that I really would like IT to be mindful of their release calendar for people who have some level of budget, particularly when, you know, it's like, I understand too when there's many factors, of course, to production schedules, when things become available or whatever, but it's like, let something sit in your warehouse for a little bit longer if you have a huge event that people are going to be spending a whole bunch of money on, and they might need like a moment to breathe, you know, before they can commit to something else.
Yeah.
But that's just, you know, that's my thoughts on that. But yeah, I'm curious what you guys think. Definitely, you know, let us know. How did you feel about the Seven Sins reveals? How do you feel about the dolls? Did you win any of the dolls? Did you lose any of the dolls?
So we're not going to be doing a haul video this time.
No, because in total, you won...
Dela, Erin, and Danya.
And Danya. Sang won, those three.
Poppies.
Sang entered for both Poppies. He lost for both of those. And like I said, I won nothing. So I only entered for three. But so, no, we are not doing a haul. So this is going to be our discussion of this subject. We're very curious what you guys think. Are you excited for, you know, an in-person convention coming next year? I hope we can make it into that.
I'm really nervous about that.
That's something to, you know, hopefully folks can get into. I mean, I have to imagine if it's another traditional convention, it'll have a larger attendance limit than like Curated, which was like a condensed event.
Yeah.
Hopefully. So, but yeah, let us know your thoughts on this event, you know, this subject, these dolls. Very curious what you guys think. Also, let us know what you'd like us to discuss in our next podcast. Thank you for being patient IT fans, we will probably have, more IT content
coming real soon.
Coming for you guys soon. So thank you for joining us for this conversation, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.